Good evening, Wound Care Today USA listeners. This is Jeremy Bowden, president of Wound Care Today USA, here down at the beach. Last time I think we reported to you was in December. I was at the IWH meeting. Again, breaking news. In the last week or so, some interesting news has come out with two different policies. And we just wanted to kind of give you a 10,000-foot view and have Kathy give you a little bit of an update of what's going on. We'll add some links also in this post so that you guys can, everyone can have a chance to look at it and comment. So, Kathy, what do we have?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you still have your beach hat on because whenever this came out today, I had my sundress on, and after having to read all these pages, I still have my sundress on. So, welcome to everybody. And it's dark outside, but here we are. So I just really wanted to tell you that we were silent when the OPPS rule, proposed rule came out, because we thought that shortly thereafter it would come the Medicare physician fee schedule proposed rule, but it didn't. And so they actually came almost 2 weeks apart. But now that they both are out, I really wanted to give you a very high level thought pattern about how you should look at this for four major topics that affect to the wound care. Now, both the rules have many other things that affect everybody, not just wound care, and you should read both rules. But I wanted to bring the four things to your attention that I think you've all been asking about. So the very first thing we will talk about is the CTPs in the sheet form. We know that they have been paid as a supply in both the outpatient department and for the physician fee schedule. And it looks as if Medicare is going to continue to do that in the year 2027. And the reason that they give for that is that they do not yet have enough claims data to actually do anything different than they've done already. So that is stayed the same in the outpatient prospective payment system as well as in the Medicare physician fee schedule. The one thing I did want to bring to your attention, a lot of people thought that these proposed rules might say something about that now that the rates were reduced for these products, that they would reduce the scrutiny of auditing. And quite frankly, it's exactly opposite. In the outpatient prospective payment system, we actually got the idea that to expect that the scrutiny will still be high. So that takes care of what will happen for the sheet products. Now then, for the non-sheet products, there's been a bit of confusion because early in the year, CMS created four new application codes: G0681, 82, 83, and 84. When they created those codes, in the outpatient department, they did not assign rates to them. And in the physician fee schedule, they did not assign rates to them. Now, in this proposed rule, they have given them a status indicator for outpatient department as N, meaning that they are packaged. And then for the physician fee schedule, it is a little unclear what they're going to do with G0681 through A4. But it does appear that they're going to pay for the sheet, for the products, not based on the size of the product or the grams or the ounces, but the square centimeters of the wound that they are applied to. I think that there's going to have to be a little better instructions for that, and I'm sure you will have questions about it, but you should read that very, very carefully so that you understand. It appears that it is the product that is getting paid for right now. And that they're based on the number of square centimeters of the ulcer. It's a little funky, and that's why I think we should read it 100 times, and we may need to ask CMS about that. But It looks like they're trying to do something for the non-sheets, but it's very difficult to set a standard rate for the non-sheets for the products because the units are different. There's grams and milligrams and ounces. And so it's not like it's a sheet. So that's why they're looking to say that, well, we're just going to pay for it based on the number of square centimeters that it's applied to. So that takes care of that. Now, let's talk about the autologous blood-derived products, right? We know that they have had a very nice payment rate in the outpatient department, and in fact, in the proposed rule, it's scheduled to increase, and the national average rate is $2,360.29, and that's an increase of $222.84. So that's happened in the outpatient department. Now, the physician fee schedule, we've worked very hard to get a higher rate for that. And in fact, the Alliance of Wound Care Stakeholders worked very hard to try to show that this has been a misvalued code. And the fact that we're trying to get them to allow us to bill out for more than one unit per encounter. However, in the physician fee schedule, they have not accepted the proposal to change it and agree that it's a misvalued code, and they haven't agreed to allow more than one unit. So if you have some data that you want to provide to Medicare to help out with this project, certainly it is very worth your while to do that. I know the Alliance of Wound Care Stakeholders worked very, very hard to get data from the community and was only able to get it from 34 respondents. And that's what CMS kind of dinged them on because it said that there wasn't enough response to the survey. So that's something we all should be looking at to help the physicians out if they're doing it in their offices. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is the skin cell suspension graft or autograft. And the acronym for that is SCSA. And in the past, we've had a procedure of C8002, and we've also had procedure of 15011 to 15018. Those codes have been deleted. And now there are 4 new codes, and they are based on the anatomic size. So the whole procedure and the product and everything is wrapped up together. And there's 4 codes for doing the procedure based on trunk, arms, and legs, and then the smaller anatomic locations. And they're in units of 100 square centimeters. So for the outpatient department, those codes have been assigned to APC 1571. However, even though there's add-on codes, remember, add-on codes in the outpatient department are packaged. So they'll only be paid for the first 100 square centimeters because the add-on square centimeters will be packaged. So that's what's going on in the outpatient department. And in the physician fee schedule, they have said that the RUC, which is the committee made up of AMA and CMS and a variety of others, and they value the different codes. They recommended a work value and a practice expense. I couldn't think of the other one. So they recommended RVUs for work value and practice expense, and CMS says they are going to accept that. So you all need to take a look at that and find out how that rate will be figured out in your particular geographic area. But it appears now that these new set of codes, both in outpatient department as well in physician fee schedule, will have not only codes, but will have some attached payment to it. So with that, those are the 4 major things: sheet CTPs, non-sheet CTPs, autologous blood-derived products, and the skin cell suspension autografts. 4 things, pay attention to those. And remember that your comments are very, very important. For outpatient department comments, they are due by August 31st, and they're due before the physician fee schedule because the proposed rule came out early. All right, so need to read that and make your comments on the outpatient department by August 31st. And then for the physician fee schedule, they are due by September 14th, and you need to respond to that also. So you'll also want to, as I said, there's some other very important things that affect all physicians and all outpatient departments in many other areas, but these are the wound care ones that I think are very important to you. So thank you very much. And Jeremy, I hope you're having a great time at the beach and a great time with the rest of the summer with your children. And to all of you, have a wonderful rest of your summer, but don't forget to comment.
Thanks so much, Kathy. Always a world of knowledge, and it's just great to hear the update. So we will be back with you with more reimbursement readiness information. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the summer. And again, yes, please comment and take a look at the links below.